Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be She's hot, flaky, and unreliable. What can I do? So, this email is from a guy who really likes this girl for his potential. He's 30, she's 19, so obviously she's young. So, he said she's got ADHD as well as autism. And like they had a date set up recently and she just fell asleep. He texted her. She didn't reply because he's like, hey, where are you? We're supposed to be together. Then he called her thinking, oh, is she okay? Something happened to her. And he ended up waking her up. And she's like, oh, I'm really sorry. It happens with my medication. You got to be patient with me. And so they've been dating for about 2-3 months. And this kind of stuff, this flakiness, this even you'll see he shares their text exchange where he's trying to set a date. She's kind of squirrely all over the ice, which women sometimes will do that when they have low interest. But when you've been dating somebody for 2 or 3 months, you realize that's just kind of the way she is. So she's, even though she's 19, she's young, she's immature, and she's kind of like a non-functioning woman. You can't even get yourself ready, show up on time, do the things you say you're going to do. That's going to be really frustrating. But she's really hot and the sex is great. So there's that. So it's like, this is like one of those cases, because women do this a lot with guys. He'd be a great guy if I could just fix this one thing. She'd be a great girlfriend if he could just fix this side of her. But it's not your job to fix somebody or to save them or to improve their life. You got to see reality as it is. Not better than it is or worse than it is, but as it is. And he tends to see things better than it is. But he keeps coming up against the reality of her personality. And some women are just like this. So you could try to set a healthy boundary, but if she's got medication she's on that cause her to fall asleep and be extra sleepy, and she's tardy all the time, and she still doesn't respect the boundary, and that's just kind of the way she is, it's the way she's always been, well, what are your choices? You can put up with it and say, well, it's just the way she is. Or you can say, you know what, it's been great, but I want to find a whole, happy, whole, and complete woman. So, this is like one of those emails, you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And if she's not willing to get herself up, do enough self-care so she gets plenty of rest, take her medications consistently, whatever it happens to be. In other words, if she's not disciplined enough to take care of herself, it's a woman who neglects herself eventually will neglect you. That's just a fact of life. So he says, Dear Corey, first of all, thank you for all you do. I'm on the second read of your book, and your wisdom is priceless. I've been approaching hundreds of beautiful women on the street and having experiences I'd scarcely dreamed of. I recently started seeing a girl who is everything I ever wanted, insanely hot, and exactly my type. She's 19 and I'm 30, and we've been exclusive for 2 or 3 months now. Since I've been dating her, I can spend all day walking around a huge city and not see a single girl I desire more, which is insane to me. Well, it's nice to have that. You want the whole package. Not part of the package or 50% of it, but all of it. You can't love somebody for their potential. She's just sloppy with arrangements. She has ADHD and autism. She frequently interrupts you in the middle of a sentence. I hate it when people do that. I'm the type of person, if I got a thought I'm trying to get out and somebody wants to interrupt me, it's like I totally lose a thought and can't get back to it. That just sucks. For example, but I understand it's hard for her to control. I set definite dates and she's always reluctant to settle, often tries to reschedule at the last minute, and we have interactions like this. So he says, let's do something Friday or Sunday. Remember, the book says, when are you free to get together? So he's only read it twice. I don't know how long he's been following me, but he needs to do better with learning the material because that will help him. However, as you'll see, she's not normal. Her, sure, but can we also meet tomorrow? And he says, I'm busy tomorrow, but let's do something on Friday. Her, I'm not sure if I'm going to be free, but yeah. And he says, you just said sure. And she says, yeah, but I just looked at the calendar. And he says, okay, and, with a question mark, her. And I'm not sure. I'll tell you tomorrow. The next day, she says, can we meet Saturday? And he says, remember, what did he offer her? Friday or Sunday? Told her his availability. But again, women are kind of a little scatterbrained like this. And this is where being direct, decisive, getting to the point, nailing her down to an appointment, getting her to commit to a definite date, day, time, and place, or you withdraw the offer and tell her to get back in touch when she knows her schedule. So he says, I got plans Saturday. I can meet Friday or Sunday. Which is good for you? And she says, Sunday then. So then she'll ask me what I'm doing on Saturday, and if I'm seeing someone else, she gets jealous. Again, she's 19. And so if she's just continually doing that, remember, I did a video newsletter, was it last week? I think it was. This one was constantly accusing this guy of cheating and screwing around, and accusing him of sleeping with a 60-year-old coworker, and he's like 30. And the coworker was the one that set the two of them up. And so sometimes he has lunch with her because she's an older woman. She's happily married, probably gives him advice and stuff. And she's just adamant that he was cheating on her. But however, she works as a waitress or bartender, and she has a male friend who she had lied to him and said that he had a girlfriend the whole time. Well, it turns out the guy not only didn't have a girlfriend, but she'd go and hang out and have drinks at 3 a.m. with him. It's like, and yet she's constantly accusing him of cheating. So when a woman continually does that over and over, it is a sign that she's insecure, but when it's really obnoxious, it oftentimes reveals that she's projecting. In other words, she's the one that's doing bad things. And the way the cheaters and the liars think, because I've coached some of them over the years, they're absolutely convinced that everybody's like that, given the right circumstances. They don't believe anybody's loyal. That's part of their story that justifies their continued ratchet behavior. So that's something to be aware of. Somebody's constantly accusing you of lying and cheating, especially when it's like abnormally, it's kind of ridiculous, and they keep harping on it, and you tell them to stop and then they don't, it's usually they're projecting. So if you're in a situation like that, pay attention. Then she didn't show. I wrote her, in other words, he texted her, no reply. An hour later, I was genuinely worried, so I called her. Turned out she'd fallen asleep. She asked if I still wanted to meet, but I said, we'll do something another day, and wished her good night. She wrote, sorry, I know you're probably mad. I didn't mean to fall asleep. Sometimes my medication works like that. I can't help it. Is this somebody that you want, like, raising your kids? Somebody you can't even count on to show up? You make dates, you make plans. Maybe you have a big event, family's there. And like, where's your girlfriend? I don't know, I can't get her on the phone. Maybe she fell asleep again. Once or twice maybe, but when it's like just a constant reoccurring thing, there are women out there that are just flaky and an absolute mess. Now she's sulking because I said I was just tired of this stuff. Yeah, as I would tell her, like, get your shit together, figure out your medication, say what you mean what you say. You need to show up in time. You need to follow through on things. I'm over this flaky behavior. If you can't get it together, I'm not going to want to continue dating you. I just don't want to deal with this. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm mature enough and disciplined enough to do it and to follow through. And if you want to act like a 5-year-old, then, oh, I fell asleep. Oh, my medication does this. And she's just not going to take care of herself. It's not your job to be her daddy. I mean, you want to be her daddy, but not where it's like having another child you got to take care of. You're looking for a teammate and an equal, not somebody that you're fucking dragging across the finish line. Or pulling her across the finish line in her bed that's on wheels, in her case. She'll probably write me first, but it's a joke. She should be trying to make up for lost time. He says, it's like she's got low interest, but for some reason wants to be in a long-term relationship. Says she missed me when we see each other. Tells me how hot I am, and the sex is incredible. She's not gold digging. She pays for me quite a bit, too. I'll take distance and she does reach out, but then she always finds a way to let me down and show me a lack of respect. I have to take a stand, but it's hard to point to anything specifically. It all seems so petty on its own, and a laundry list would be even worse. How can I date her without giving her all these opportunities to take me for a fool? Well, you said yourself you got to take a stand, so you're gonna have to draw a line in the sand, because you clearly don't like this behavior. I wouldn't put up with it. I mean, yeah, she's hot, but there are women out there that are just a mess. They don't have their lives together. I wrote about one of them in my book. This girl had posed for Playboy. I show up to pick her up. Come to find out she still lives in a house with her ex-husband. They're totally divorced. He was dating, she was dating, and they live in the house with their kids. And the house is a fucking mess. And I remember we're sitting, I showed up. She's not fucking ready. She's like, oh, I didn't think you were coming. I was like, well, why don't you just call me and make sure if you doubted that? And so she's finishing getting ready, and I'm in a room with her hanging out. And then she locked her door, and she's got her kids are outside the door banging and kicking the door, trying to get in. I'm just thinking, the ex-husband's in the other room. He doesn't say, hey, kids, knock it off. He just lets them continue banging and kicking the door, and she does it. It's like, what a mess. The girl's a total mess. And after, seeing her and the way she was with her kids and her family, I was just like, she was so hot, so beautiful. But I was like, man, I don't get involved in that. Are you kidding me? And so I didn't date her. I think I might have gone out with her one more time, if that. But it's like, I don't want to deal with that. If you can't get yourself together and get yourself ready, it's like, I'm not here to motivate you. Yeah, I'm a life coach, but I'm not going to be your life coach. It's like, you gotta take care of yourself. As Jim Rohn said, I'll take care of me for you, and you take care of you for me. And so in this case, this girl's not taking care of herself. And so I would just sit down and say, I really love you. You're really awesome. Our sex life is great. It's very passionate. I have fun with you, but your flakiness and unreliability, I'm over it. And so you got two choices. You can either get your shit together and show up on time, and no more of this, oh, my medication made me tired and I fell asleep. Or I'm just not going to want to date you anymore. I need a woman I can rely on, and you're just not reliable. And if she wants to make excuses, say, I don't really care about the excuses. I'm sorry you have ADHD. I'm sorry you have autism, but it's like, that can't be the excuse for you treating me and disrespecting me like this. So it's like, it's going to have to stop. You're going to have to get your act together if you want to keep me. And if you don't, if you can't, that's fine, but you can find somebody else to date who maybe is more patient and will put up with that stuff, because I don't want to deal with it. And you're going to have that conversation, but you got to be prepared that if I'm a betting man, if I'm in Las Vegas, where do I put my money? I'm putting my money on the fact she'll probably continue to be flaky. Because what does Gerald Celente of the Trends Research Institute say? Current events form future trends. So I'd have one more sit down with her and explain how things need to be if she wants to keep you around. And if she continually does this shit, then I would tap out and go find somebody else. I know it's hard, but you found her. She's almost everything you want. So if she can't get her shit together, then she's not really your dream girl. Yeah, she looks great on the outside and the sex is great, but dealing with her and basically being babysitting an adult is like, I don't think so. I wouldn't put up with it. So I'd give her one final ultimatum to clean it up, get her act together, do whatever she's got to do. She'll either do it or she won't. And if she won't, then you're going to have to move on, man, because it's not your job to fix her, be her mommy, hold her hand, tell her to get dressed. And it's just like, I wouldn't want to deal with that. Not in the least. But you do you, boo-boo. Whatever floats your boat, man. I'm here for it. I'm here to support you as your coach. My job is to help you get what you want. But again, the book is not going to fix this woman. She's going to have to fix herself. And she'll either do it or she won't. And if she won't, you either put up with it or you move on. Pretty simple. So if you got a question or a challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the coaching tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book a coaching session with yours truly. And if you haven't already signed up for our exclusive premium members-only content, in the video description of this video, there are links to join on YouTube, or you can join on Spotify or our website, understandingrelationships.com. Just click the plans tab when you get there, And you can sign up for a 7-day free trial to check out all the content you get for your money. And if you choose an annual plan, you can get a 25% discount at the end of the 7-day free trial. So go to understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab, sign up for a 7-day free trial today for our premium content. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.